you guys. I know I'm live. I'm trying to get this set up. It's been just like crazy here. Okay, let's see. Do I have this where I need it to be? So I'm kind of just, I always do that trying to get this thing set up. Sorry, not that any of that means anything to you, but I am up. Let me just say it has been crazy. Crazy. So I'm trying to get all my stuff set up. Wheat Tree, let me just say, I love you. I am so happy. Turn off speakers. Do I have it right? Hopefully I have it right. Thank you guys for praying for us. Okay, so in the bedroom, because this is where the quietest spot I can get, and getting set up. So we got in last night, hearing you 3 times. I don't know. I got the sound right here. So, hey, Mama Geek. Hey, Green Gables. Hey, Life and Shoe. Hey, Brenda. Thank you for praying for me and my family. Hello, Ironis De La Torre. Jennifer Phillips made it. Yay, my girl made it in the house. Wait, we're hearing you twice now. I don't know what's going on. Cat Lover says, stay safe. I just popped in for a minute. Try refreshing. All right, sounds good here. Okay, so we were gone all weekend. We were actually in Orlando and really had an amazing weekend. It was just absolutely amazing, and enjoyed ourselves and came home last night. We got home last night, and so as we were up there, it was kind of like we were paying attention to Irma, Hurricane Irma, and we started coming home last night really paying attention to it, like, oh man. And we're all just kind of like, oh man. Yeah, I'm having some problems with my internet, so it was streaming like 4 different times, and just getting it all set up was really proving to be a little difficult. I had to make everything just get fixed. What county do you live in? We live in Hernando. I'm right there in Southwest Florida, just south of Tampa and north of Fort Myers. That's about the extent I'm going to give publicly. But I hope that you're staying safe too, especially with you in Hernando. So if you've been watching the hurricane and everything coming up, you're preparing. Mama Schmooze, where are you at again? I'm trying to remember where you're at for you to be prepping. We've been watching the hurricane, so it's up to a Category 5. We're in an area that 13 years ago we got hit by Hurricane Charlie. Mama Schmooze, you're in Southwest Florida or South Florida? We need to get together. We got to get together. So we got hit by Hurricane Charlie in this area, and we've gone through hurricanes. Well, the problem is about like getting out. So here's where we're running into. We have 3 houses. We will not be riding the hurricane out in any of our homes. We're actually going to go to a shelter, unless my husband feels that the safest thing to do is for me and the children to leave. So we'd probably take my mother, and we would just go ahead and go up to family or stay with somebody out of the path. But here's what happens with the idea of like, get out of town now, you need to leave, you got to run. There has been so many times where people have run only to have the hurricane end up where they went to. So that is not good. I'm in Southeast Florida trying to decide if we stay or go. Oh, Zana the Great, that is not good. Yeah, because that's where full-time wife life Abby and I were talking about, because last year this time, well, next month will be 1 year. It's been 11 months. She wrote out the Hurricane Matthew at my place over here, and we're both looking like it's either you or me, or it could be both of us. And it's looking like it's at the very bottom of Florida. So if you imagine the peninsula like that, it's fixing to come up and go right up the state. So it tends to be looking more east right now than West Florida, but it's still right down the middle. So we're paying attention, and we're looking to see what to do. So how do you prepare? So we got in last night, and we got in last night. This morning I got up and just hit Walmart real quick. I will tell you, the first time in 40 years, assumingly 40 years, because I'm just that far away from being 40, that Florida is preparing a bit more than it usually has ever prepared before. To be honest with you, we could have that hurricane out there, and it would be 2 to 3 days before it showing up that people would actually go buy their supplies. And the fact that it's not supposed to show up until like Monday or Tuesday, and it's Tuesday and they're already shopping. And there's no water. If you've seen on Instagram, I posted today, there was no water. There was no flashlights. There's no D batteries, nothing of that kind. I went there because, well, it was time to shop, and I was putting off shopping before we left to go on vacation. And I just kind of went and filled in with the things we needed. For the most part, for food, we're good. Our water, we're good on water. We're good on, we just need to get some gas. We've got a generator, and we have all of our like tactical things to be just fine. If we would ride it out in a shelter and then come home and then deal with what's home, where would you go? Like what state area? Sorry if I missed it. You've already said. We don't know. We don't know. It all depends on where it's going. We were talking about, we've got some friends that are from this area that just moved up to North Carolina, and they bought a bed and breakfast that they're fixing up. A beautiful place. I actually kind of really hope to do like a huge homeschool YouTube meetup there one of these days, and do like a little mini conference or something up there. So we were talking about going to them, but then when I was looking at the last path, it looks like it's heading that way. So it looks like right now the best bet would probably be actually heading up Atlanta, going west, maybe into Alabama or Mississippi, and just kind of hiding out up there. But then you never know, because that's today. In 2 days, it could totally change. Prospect. Is this the worst hurricane you've ever been through? Yeah, kind of. No, not really. I mean, I've been through a ton of hurricanes. So here's the big part about hurricanes. It's not typically the hurricanes that get you. It's the tornadoes. So the house we're living in right now is a single wide mobile home. We're not staying in this thing at all because it is not theoretically safe to be in this building. It's not a safe structure in a hurricane. But when the mobile home parks, because we'll have a lot of mobile home parks, when we had that bad one that came through in Charlie, it's like you'll have like mobile homes just fine, barely touched. Then you'll have just decimated 3 houses, perfectly fine, decimated. And the ones that got decimated were tornadoes. So that's not, that's kind of one of the things. So, we're just kind of not laughing, but laughing. We're like, well, could be here, could be gone when it's all over and done. One of the big things that's working for us is that this house was really overgrown, and it's surrounded by bamboo. And with it being surrounded by bamboo, it's going to block a lot of that wind. So there's, right now they're saying it's 180 miles an hour. And so with the bamboo, it's going to block those gusts, because we'll start having gusts that come through. I think Charlie was pretty bad, but to be honest, we were like 2 hours away, maybe 2 hours away, pure west. And like I watched it. Sorry about that. I watched it go over the over like my childhood home. Watched it go over, and my family wrote it out, and they were fine. So it all depends on where it's going. We can't even make that decision yet. What will probably happen is either depending on what happens, we're going to stay, all of us will stay in a shelter near the home, but in a shelter that's authorized to be in, and we'll ride out the storm, and then we're right here when, the aftermath is over, once, for the aftermath and cleanup. Or I'm going to leave, and my husband will probably stay, or if it shows to be really bad, we'll all just head up and we'll go somewhere safe, even if it means we just drive and then we drive home. Kind of how it is. All right, so Amanda says, we lived in a double wide, but have nowhere to go, really, right? That's a lot of the areas where we're in. So there are a lot of shelters that are available. Tree says, go to Dallas, Texas. It should be okay and away from all those areas. Those kind of winds will uproot anything. Oh, yeah, I know. It will uproot some crazy stuff. We were out of power for 2 weeks back after Hugo in South Carolina. It was also in the North Carolina coast during Floyd. It took many houses off the beach and they were just gone. Right. And so we're kind of in an area that may flood, but it's not going to be substantial, I don't think. But not to be, I've just been with a couple of neighbors and we were discussing and dealing with every, getting prepared and like, okay, where are you going? Do I have your phone numbers? Give me a picture of your cat, kind of things like that. We're going through those things, those technicalities with the neighbors, and some are leaving and some are staying. And in our little area, and we're watching the map, we are all just kind of like have this calmness of we're fixing to be decimated. And that is a scary prospect of it. Like we might just be decimated. We might not have anything left here. But God always provides, lost a lot last year this time. And it's kind of strange because I have had the little thoughts of, is all of this in vain? Is all of this in vain? So hopefully not. Amanda says, Trish, we're in Marion County in the Ocala National Forest. I'm hoping the trees that we are surrounded by will help. Not in a flood zone, though. Yeah, you're not really in a flood zone because you're in that high sugar sand. The only thing I'd be careful about are those sand pines because they don't have a deep root system. And like just any wind, you'll see like the whole forest leaning. And that's because they don't have that root system. This is the price we pay to live in paradise. And it's crazy. This is how I've always lived. I could never live in like Tornado Alley. I could handle a hurricane just fine. It's only stuff. Keep your family safe. We love you guys. There's Abby from Full Time Life. Hey, friend, I love you. Praying for all of us, right? Well, I was talking about that, like, when you headed here last year. And it is that kind of thoughts. There is a good prospect that, we might not have anything. When is it expected to hit? Okay, so it is expected to hit Tuesday. So we literally 7 days out. And there's a lot that can change in 7 days. You would be amazed. There's a lot that can change in 7 days. And keeping that in mind, to be honest, by Friday is when we're going to know what we're going to do. And of course, I will put that on Instagram if, to let y'all know that like, we're good. But we can't do anything until then. Mama Geek says, praying for you. My brother is in Orlando. I'm praying for them too. Yeah. And we just left Orlando. And talking to friends and Facebook, there's like most of Florida, we're wiped out. And when I was talking to the Walmart person, they are actually saying that we had just shipped a huge portion of our warehouse, Walmart warehouse, distribution centers, supplies to Texas. Them not realizing we're going to need it for ourselves. So they're having to ship a lot of stuff down. Balance Fidelity says, you guys have been through so much. Praying you guys will only get minimal effect no matter where Irma ends up making landfall. Thank you. And it's kind of like, and I've done so much organizing, like with these little bad boys and stuff like that over the last few weeks. And I'm like, please don't tell me I did it all in vain. I really don't want it in vain. My in-laws live in low-income retirement park right in Irma's current theoretical path, Arcadia. Creating Essence, we need to talk. That is very close to where I'm at. Very close. And there's a lot of parks there. But because of that, like I know like the hospital in that area, I just talked to a friend, she works at that hospital in that area. Like that is a shelter. That's like a high rated shelter. And they have that opened up too. I guess it will be too difficult to take that massive curriculum with you. I'm not even worried about that, to be honest with you. I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to pack it up in a box and pray it turns out just fine. Not worried about it. I'm sure I would expect BJU Press would be completely like understandable if, something happened. we've been running a lot of, I'm doing, that's a good time when you could go use Monarch for a month for free, right? Or you could use, just making sure you pack up your technology. And we packed up our technology over the weekend, and it wasn't a big deal to get it on vacation with us in one bag, and it was super easy to handle. So I'm like, we would do Monarch for 30 days free, or we would do something of that nature. So I think we would figure it out. And, yeah, I wouldn't worry about all that. Let's see. I want to make sure I didn't get it all. So Amanda says, Matthew gave us some serious winds, lost power for a few days, and this is worse. Looking for a generator. Right. I live in Orlando, no water anywhere, and our Walmart just ran out of gas today. Oh, yeah, I just filled up with gas this morning. We're in the Houston area. We are just getting over Harvey. I'm praying for y'all. Thank you so much, Brittany. I hope that y'all are doing well. Creating Essence says, we're coming down in November. We must meet. Yes, we definitely have to meet up. Just make sure you keep up with me, because my ADHD will totally forget what's going on. So you have to keep up with me. Could you do assessments of your belongings just in case for insurance purposes? I'm going to do that. So to get that done, it was definitely a lot of effort this last time. So I'm going to have pictures of everything before heading out. But to be honest, we don't own a lot anymore. There's some stuff that we have but I mean, the stuff of value, we just don't have like we used to. But the nice part is buying a lot of stuff online, you have a receipt of what you own with descriptions. So that's a really easy way that I'm like, oh, I could just track our stuff that way. One is none if a generator breaks. Yep. But we live in a good neighborhood that we definitely keep out for each other. Florida mom, both of my sisters are in Orlando too, praying for all of you in the path. Do a video of your belongings. Yep. Well, if you look at it negatively, that's true. I'm going to try and stay positive. This is a reality. It is. And, the other aspect is, as much as it's like, hey, this is what you should have. You should have 2 generators. You need to have this backed up. That's great. If you can afford it. Number 2, if you can find it. And at this point, I mean, I had a neighbor cutting off another neighbor's lock who's out of town. And he's like, I'm going to be there after it lands. I'm coming to look out. He's a seasonal neighbor. And he's just like, cut the lock off, get my generator, get this, and have this in your home so you're ready. He goes, text me what you need, and I'll be bringing it from Michigan. So that works out really good too, that it works out that way. And having that backup, so we use propane. They're already running out of propane. I have friends that are in the retail business and, working for Dollar General, and they're out of water and propane. And when I talked to Walmart, they had 7 or 8 pallets of water that showed up at midnight last night, and by 7 o'clock this morning, they were gone. But the nice part is, because we have so much gone by 7 days out, we have plenty of time to get more things in, which is not unusual for Florida. Usually we just wait because we're like, the scary part I'm going to tell you, with it being a category 5, they're already talking about the model distribution shows that it's going to drop down to a category 4, probably by the time it hits Florida or hits us. Is the aspect is when it starts dropping down, it starts slowing down. And this thing is massive. And as much as it's like going that fast, that quickly, the aspect is, if it slows down in its category, it could very well just slow down completely and not move. And the more dangerous thing would be for this thing to stall out over any of us and just sit there and flood us. Essentially flood us like it did to Houston is not what you want it to do. So we're kind of getting settled in, and then packing totes, just so if we decide we need to leave, it will be quick to leave. Books on CD is a really good thing right now. And, having the energy that you need for your different electronics devices is a good thing. I don't think we're going to be doing homeschool this week at all. And maybe not next week either. It depends. Really bummed out is the FPEA, which is the Florida Parent Educator Association, is doing the STEM conference. And that is this weekend in Sanibel, which is in Fort Myers, right up there. And they've yet to cancel it. So I'm sure they're like waiting, just like, okay, for certain we can't have it. They haven't canceled it yet, but I'm certain it's going to be canceled. And I'm just really kind of bummed out about that, because I'm like, I was looking so forward to it. And that was this weekend. Amanda says, so true. Shay says, praying, because she's in Florida too. Oh man, that's the only thing I don't miss about living in Florida. I'm still okay. It is a little bit like awestruck. I mean, this is a mega storm. Mega storm. And you just don't know what it's going to do. And, and there's a lot of us that are just kind of going, all right, what do we do to, we're preparing for the worst and we're hoping for the best. And it's just, okay, what do we do? What do we do? What do we take? What do we leave with, knowing that we can only fit it in one car and we might not come back to it at all? There might be nothing when you come back. How do you handle the animals? How do you prepare to keep them comfortable and safe? Because you run into that, you can't always pack every animal, and that's the hard part too. And it's like, a lot of times you want to make sure that they have the ability to save themselves. I don't know what we're going to do about that yet. I haven't talked to my husband. I'm like, we have 3 goats. I'm like, we're packing them goats up. So, we'll see. Prayers for everyone. I have to go get my grandbaby. Fussy day today. Stay safe. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you so much. House of Littles. Was Andrew the last huge hurricane to directly hit Florida? No, because Hurricane Charlie hit us, and then we had like the ones all that year, and then we had another one come up the East Coast. And I'm checking my phone because I don't know right off the bat. Then we had Charlie, and Charlie hit, and what that one was, that was something like, it was a category 2 turned to 4, and when it hit, so it was like literally in the Gulf, right at the mouth, the harbor. And when it just like stood out there and stayed there, and all of a sudden went from 2 to 4. And they even said when it made landfall, they assume it was 5, but followed up the river all the way up to Bartow. And that hit Arcadia, like she was talking about, where her grandparents are. And that hit, I remember when Andrew hit, because Andrew hit about 20 years ago in Miami. But Miami might be reliving another Andrew when this hits, because it looks like it's going to hit Homestead area. Prayers for everyone. I'm in West Virginia, and we'll get the after effects right. And like, that's what we're talking about. Like, we could head up the coast, but the likelihood is that it's just, we're going to be chased down by the rain. And yeah, it's just going to be a wet mess. And it's not going to be near as dangerous as the tornadoes. Sometimes it can be. My big part is, so as terrifying as this is, we live in such better condition than the Caribbeans, than all the people down there in the Virgin Islands and the Caribbean down there. I mean, they're fixing to be decimated. And that, and I don't know, whenever we're dealing with a hurricane, and yeah, it's stressful, and you're like, I'm fixing to lose everything, but you might not really lose everything, and you're still so much safer in the end than those people in the Caribbean. And I'm like, my heart's just really nervous for them. Praying for y'all. We live outside of Victoria, and it's been so hard. Our home has had only minimal damage, but town was hit hard. Still so many without power. The tornadoes that come with the hurricanes scare me more than anything. And that's where I'm at too. I've been through 10 hurricanes living in Florida. Thanks, Jess, but thank you. Green Gables, you rock. Thank you for deleting that. If you do want to outrun it north, we're in a county west of Richmond, Virginia. Come right out the rain with us. You never know. I might be on live going, hey, anybody want to put us up? I'm praying for y'all. Thank you, Anna B. Yes, I'm worried about all those people on the islands, and some of those little ones are flat and nothing to slow down Irma, right? Florida Mom, I was just thinking that. And they can't get resources quickly. Yes. Erica says, I feel for them as I think this is going to be a huge storm that is going to destroy everything there. Wilma was a Category 4 when it hit my city directly. Yes. We live in Puerto Rico and are very nervous. Oh, Zap TV. Oh, Zap. I'm glad you told me that. I got to get my notepad so I can start writing things down. Make sure. Oh, I got a pen. You see that Netflix? This little squirrel moment. That Netflix thing has been sitting there for 2 months. I gotta send that back. I'm gonna send that back. Yeah, and the big part too is like they don't have the building codes like that. Well, you know, and the thing too is Florida gets hit every year. Some part of Florida is going to get hit, and there's been like a long running where that armpit up there, the Panhandle, gets like hammered constantly. Right there around Panama City, Fort Walton Beach, constantly getting hit. And you know, the big part is no matter where it hits on the peninsula, this thing is so huge, it's literally going to engulf the whole thing. Zap TV is in Puerto Rico. Why does this thing want me to restart now? Change the time. All right, change the time. I'm sorry, I got something that wants to update on my computer because, you know, I don't know. I haven't had it on in 4 days, and that's what it does. All right, Puerto Rico. All right, y'all, if you're living in Florida or in the path of the hurricane, tell me, because I'm going to write you down so that I'm appropriately praying. It's going to be the strongest hurricane ever. Yeah. 200 plus miles per hour. Probably. And it's kind of crazy. We're flooded in Texas. We're burning up in the Midwest. And, you know, we've got the storm of the century. All right. AC outlaws in South Florida. I'm assuming that's like East Coast, right? All right. Irma. So y'all can like take note. If y'all want to be praying for us, we would greatly appreciate it. Do you hear the kids crying? Because they're in there like pitching a fit. Because we have been like at poolside for the last 3 days. My family's spread out in Florida, Fort Lauderdale, on up to Inverness, West Palm Beach, about an hour away from Miami. Yep. All right. So House of Little's family. Fam. Mommy Geek TV fam. Geek TV fam. I know I'm doing this really close, but yes. I'm in Idaho. It is so smoky here today, and I don't live super close to any of the fires, but they are just on all sides. It's crazy. I know I was looking at the map that showed where the fires, and I was just like, wow. Erica Wallace, praying for all you guys that have been affected in Texas and those in Florida preparing for what's to come. God will provide. I know. He's going to provide. We're going to be good. Katie says, wait, she retracted her message. Katie, I'm just going to put you down. We might be up that way. Zap TV, praying for all you guys. Yes, I'm going to put Katie on there because I only caught part of that, but yeah. Mama Geek says, my husband's family's in Mexico Beach area. Not sure if it's going to get hit. They're looking pretty good right now. Thanks for all the heartfelt prayers and good wishes. AC says, we're living through some crazy times, folks. We are. I'm in North Florida, in between Gainesville and Jacksonville. Yeah, that's about where I'm heading. Listen, sister, my butt got baptized in the Melrose Baptist Church. So you should probably know where that is. And the Melrose Baptist Church is where I got baptized and I came to Christ. Some amazing folks up there. Tracy says, I'm in Northeast Ohio and people in my area were smelling smoke and learned that the fires from Montana. I think it's weird. Well, you know what's crazy is like we'll actually get like the dust bowls from Africa here in Florida, and all our allergies were messed up from the dust bowls. Katie says, sorry, I messed up the spelling. Fires on the West Coast and storms on the East Coast. It's crazy. Come on, girl. Hey, yep, Melrose just down the road. I love that area. I really do. It was really hard, Katie. When we lived up there going to school, I did not want to leave to come back down here. And for a long time, I fought to get back up there. And it's just not the timing. And we've talked about one of these days. But we used to live out there in Hawthorne. Okay, so my parents are on a cruise. They get back Saturday from Miami. You have got to be a mess. Oh my goodness. Okay, you're in Lottie. I got family in Lottie. You take care though, because I feel like my husband's like, you're gonna go up there and that's how we're gonna deal with this. And I'm like, I'm looking at the map, I'm like, I'm gonna get hit up there too. I'd rather, it's like, I don't know. Yay, Erica made it. I'm making out my list on who we're praying for the whole 9 yards. I'm going to put, even though I know, but I'm going to put Abby, the full-time wife life, on my list so I don't forget. I'm trying to keep myself together because of my son, but it's our first time that we are going to experience such a strong hurricane, and I know that we are not ready for it. The biggest part is, one of the things that will happen, we typically will board up. But like your screen, if you got a screen porch, slice the screen, because the last thing you want it to do is to catch the resistance and pull through and bend up your porch and stuff like that. I made it, but video will not load for me. My phone is acting up. Hey, Tracy. And then you don't want to open up a space. And then what happens is, like, especially if you have the eye go over, you'll have like the storm pushing everything one direction, right, as it's coming. And then the eye will come up and it'll be like sun is out, good to go. And you'll have like a mile or two. And then everything, and like a lot of people go and like strap everything down that's gotten blown around, and because the next thing, so it might be coming this way to begin with, and then on the way through, it's coming the opposite way. So you have to make sure it gets done. House Littles, oh no, praying for their safe return. News said that this morning ships were being rerouted. So hopefully they are being rerouted. But AC, we're going to definitely be praying for your parents on a cruise. Okay. I can't stay. Take care, friends, and I will be praying for y'all. Thank you. I thought I seen on the news that they were diverting cruise ships. Hopefully they are. My 6-year-old has been interested in watching storms. He is so mad at me for not prepping him a hurricane prep bag. As I said, we live in Idaho. Poor kid. He's trying to gasp it all. Oh, bless his heart. And it's rain, and and if it slows down, a lot of people here will relax, and we literally have parties. I mean, there's notorious, like Florida has hurricane parties, and it is a huge storm event. Yes, it's a huge storm event, but then they'll relax through the storm and just kind of ride it out, and they don't get really crazy during the time, and it will be like a freight train at times, and then it will calm down. And when you're in a safe spot, you're just in a safe spot and you ride it out. Yeah, so they're probably getting rerouted. That's probably right. All right, you guys, what are your prayer requests? Because I'm going to start taking them in. I did just see, like, one of my friends, they're like, okay, appropriate hurricane prep, I'm washing everything. And that's probably a really good idea. I should get that done and get washing. I am prepping peanut butter and jellies. I'm doing the J. Morel's, peanut butter and jellies. So I'm sticking them in a sandwich bag and I'm deep freezing them, so that if we do hit the road, I've got peanut butter and jellies good to go. I'm meal prepping a lot of different things so that it's really easy to handle. The nice part with a little generator is that a crock pot will be just fine for heating up. What else do we have? Making sure so here's some of my like crazy hurricane prep items that I purchased today. What did I purchase? I purchased extra flashlights that go on the bill of your hat. They're like $1 at Walmart. They're really great little LED lights. I bought the Jenga game. I bought another set of cards. I bought a couple of games, just mainly because you need something that's not electrical, you know, but you need to keep your mind off it. And the last thing you want to do, and you don't want something that requires heavy thinking. So I figured Jenga was pretty good for that. Kind of worried for those who live in Florida as well, because my stepdaughter lives over there. Putting my trust in God, right? Wheat Tree has her prayers for all of us. Balanced Vitality says, how can those of us away from the storm support you guys from where we are other than prayer, both pre and post storm? I don't know. You know, really, I don't know. Pre and post, I can't even, I don't know. What about your mom's store? Does she have it storm ready? She doesn't have, so my mom, for y'all that don't know, my mom has a crafting lounge. So she has some people in there that actually have permanent spots that pay a monthly fee, and they are there constantly answers their stuff. So she's called them all in to come and package their stuff. And, you know, she's like, I can't be responsible for your things. You need to come and either pull it out, wrap it up, you know, put it in containers. I think she's just at the point, she's like, God will provide, God will, and we'll be good. And she's kind of going on that realm. So I did the peanut butter and jellies, packed those up, and just having some quick, easy meals, having the crock pot. We'll have a, you know, generator kind of stuff going, so we should be good. Unfortunately, water is sold out everywhere. And, you know, this is one of those, like, order a Berkeley. I mean, for $200, order a Berkeley. This is a good, you know, and that's the big part too, is I'm going to go online and I'm going to order a bunch of stuff and see what shows up before, you know, that won't be a problem. I bought the Gatorade mixes because our drinking water is safe to drink. It's a deep well, but it doesn't taste the best. So then it camouflages the taste. Okay, let's see. Julie says, pray for my longtime friend. She lost her dad to cancer 5 weeks ago. The same week her mom found out that she has lymphoma. Her mom isn't doing well and has been on a ventilator all week. Oh, I'm so sorry. Contrell friend lost dad to cancer. Sorry, I know it takes me a little bit to get this. Lymphoma. Gas is hard to get. Yep, gas is already hard to get here. So I got a lot of juice and soda. Now be careful, the juice, you know, we're not big juice and soda drinkers, and be careful about doing that. Because they'll actually strip your body of what you need. Pinellas. They'll strip your body of what you need. So we got like the big packs of Gatorade because it has the electrolytes in there. So that we can be sure. So we get the big like jug things to make it. You definitely will be filling our tubs up with water. The other thing too is I have like old ice cream buckets. I'll actually be filling those up with water and putting them in the deep freezer. So if the freezer does die, I have actually essentially blocks of ice in there, keeping things cold. We have that. One of the things, if I was in a different situation here at the house, any meat I had in the freezer, I'd be spending this week to pressure can it so that it's in jars, so I wouldn't have to worry about my freezer going bad for if we lose things. Our deep freezer's on the porch, so it makes it really easy to connect to the generator. The other aspect too is you have a generator. You do not want the generator in your house. You want the generator outside. Keeping extra water. Now, here's one of the things you want to make sure that you have is the ability to have water on the side, because you will want that to flush your toilets. You don't need to have clean drinking water to flush your toilets. You don't want to use clean drinking water. Let's see, I was thinking of filling up my washing machine with water for the bathroom and other uses. Excellent idea. You can fill up your bathtub. They sell these like bags that you can actually fill up in the faucet, so then it's like a bladder inside the tub. That works really good. Even keeping, you know, and Zap, are you above the water line? Are you above like sea level? Are you high up? You know, you want to keep bleach, because if you're in the situation that your water's not clean, you can take, I think it's like a capful, or, you know, it's not much. It's like an ounce to a gallon of water, and you can make that water drinkable. It might not taste good, but it doesn't mean it's not safe. You can use iodine, you know, like the hiking kind of things. And we used to do that when we'd hike. We would use iodine to make our water safe to drink, and then we would add lemonade packets to give it something flavor, because you will get bored of it. Keep easy things. You know, we're stocking up on now we're using number 10 cans because we're a family of 8. There's 2 things you got to go with. You want to have access to food that requires no water and no refrigeration. So this is where your canned chili, your Dente Moores really come in. We buy these number 10 can style. You can get the dehydrated food. That makes it really easy to travel with, but you need potable water. Potable water is water that's safe to drink. And so you'll need to have access to that. Now, you can make it safe, typically through boiling and through a little bit of chlorination, and then you let the chlorine sit. Don't drink the water right away, but let the chlorine sit just a little bit, and then you could use that in, you know, making your coffee. But you want to make sure you have comfort. So a little bit of candy is good to have, just to kind of maintain comfort. Coffee, like in our case, we got to have our coffee and stuff like that, and that's kind of what we're working on. And then having some like convenience food. So we'll have the peanut butter and jellies made for the road trip, and cans of fruit. And because the other part too is in the fruit, you have the liquid that you can drink. Now, if your body's not used to some of this, pack toilet paper, because you might have a very uncomfortable situation. We live in an apartment, 3rd floor with a balcony. We are above, thankfully, right? And hopefully they're going to like plywood your windows or put shutters up. I hope. I hope. I'm trying to like think. I'm like, Zap, we're Instagram friends, right? I hope. I expect that is you. So that you can let me know how you're doing. Let me know how you're doing. So, you know, there's a lot of things coming through, making sure you have flashlights. Somebody was talking about using candles. You can get hurricane candles. Just be careful. Don't burn your place down after, you know, you got soaking wet. Too. The tub and the buckets of ice is a good idea. I didn't think about that. Our friend needs prayers. Their son has been getting into drugs and dealing them. He has not been being responsible and taking care of the animals, and he has left the church. Oh, Tracy, I'm so sorry. That's hard. Friends, son, to drugs. We have camping water filters, and because we primitive camp and kayak camp regularly, I feel like those who do primitive camp are typically more prepared than the rest of us by nature. Kind of works out. I'm working on that. Have to seal the windows and doors. Just the big part is you don't want the door to fly open. So here's what's kind of one of the things that will happen is if you have a door that flies open or an opening, it essentially turns your building, your room or whatever into a big balloon or a big sail, and the wind will rush in and then actually push out everything. And then once everything pushes out, now your home is getting hit by all sides. So you want to make sure that when it hits, it's barricaded, or not, you know, barricaded so nothing opens. Don't open a door, nothing. I know that when Charlie came through the back door, my mom's house was being compromised. It was trying to push in, and so thankfully she had like her like little like the mom toolbox. She always had the mom toolbox underneath the stairwell, and she had these nails in there, and her and my grandfather drove the nails and nailed the door shut through the hurricane. So make sure, like, on top of that, that you have basic, like a hammer and nails in your home, so when you're going through the situation, if you need to fix something or you need to, you know, secure something, you can. If you're taking general prayer, I am taking general prayer requests. I have a friend with a little girl, thinks she's 2, in open heart surgery as we speak. This surgery will be life-changing and it's scary. Emma is her name. Okay. Balanced vitality. Emma, 2 years, open heart surgery. Yes. Yeah, and then at the end, balance. I'm not sure if you've been here before. At the end, I will I'll pray over all of our stuff that we write through the thing. We'll just come together in prayer. So making sure that you have the ability to secure yourselves in the middle, because the last thing you want to be is like, oh, if I just had a hammer and some nails, I could have fixed this right now. Now, make something not be as bad because of it. Let's see, is there anything else? Hey, but I'm going to tell you, I come home rested. What a great way to come home from a vacation. To get to deal with this. I'm like, oh, maybe be on another vacation. You never know. It's going to be kind of crazy here. And I don't know what, how the work thing is going to go for my husband. Husband is being sent to a specialist at University of AB for a mass on his spinal column. Yeah, okay. Didn't he have the MRI done, Green Gables? Didn't he have the whatchamacallit thing? Or the scan? Did you find out about that? I remember that. Green Gables. Oh, darling husband. The mass is fine. Seeing specialist. Okay. Zap says, we did grocery shop as well. We purchased a lot of cans, juice, batteries. I'm still rechecking what we still need. Tanya said, I almost got here on time. Crystal says, we post our adventures on YouTube. It's My Family Adventures 98. If you have a signal and are super bored, you can check it out. Hey, and don't forget, and please, if you have a YouTube channel that you are a creator and you're contributing to, let everybody know to subscribe to you. And when you want to do that is if you click on the 3 little dots, when you hover over their name, it will say go to their channel and you can subscribe. Are you guys evacuating now, or are you going to wait a little while and see? We're waiting to see. We'll probably know by Friday. And then we're going to take it from there. But if not, we will go. Let's see. Green Gable said, yes, 2 MRIs, and that's why they're sending him to the specialist. Got to hop off here. Thank you. Praying for those in Houston. Yes, we're definitely praying for those in Houston. As someone not experienced in hurricanes, can I ask why you don't leave Florida for a few days, then come back and repair it? Because sometimes it's not financially available. A lot of times, I know it would make sense. You're like, just get out and go and come back. It's not, you can't always like load up all of the animals to do that. I mean, there's a lot of times that it's like, you would think leaving would be better, but it actually isn't better. And then you're stuck on the road. And then the last thing you want to do is be stuck somewhere and then the hurricane showed up where you're at and you're not in your space with your resources, with your network of people. What part of Florida are you staying? I live in Houston. We're so lucky during Harvey. I hope and pray Florida's fare well in the storm. Thank you, Megan. We are in Southwest Florida. So we're between Fort Myers and Tampa along the West Coast. Totally off subject, but we are coming down there in the spring, and we'll be about an hour from you. Oh yeah, House of Littles, you better come see me. I know I'm creating Essence. I need to come back and watch this so I can remember. Okay. Yes, I think we are friends on Instagram. Thanks. All right, yeah, keep me up to date, Zap TV, on how you're gonna do. I've got your back in a storm. Thank you, Tanya. You're always so good to me. Can't leave our animals either. Tampa here. So there's Martha. Martha, I'm writing you down on my list so that next week we either be huddle. So I don't know if I have a mama chat next week. If the hurricane's hitting, that's just how it is, or it will be live from the hurricane. But trust me, I'm going to be asking for you guys that I'm writing down how you are and how you fared. Animals would make it hard. I've just wondered for so long. I kind of like, so on like the flip side of that, for us, it's like a hurricane. It's just this huge storm, you know, in certain spots has the tornadoes. But we got like, here's my thing. I would rather live through a hurricane. I have a whole week knowing it's coming that I can do things for it. Compared to having like no notice that you're fixing to be demolished by a tornado. And all those tornadoes back a couple years ago in Arkansas was just like, I couldn't imagine. I just could not imagine. Praying for y'all in Florida. My family lives close to you. Oh, that's right. Peace and Pantry. Peace and Pantry. Family. All right. All right. So is there any more prayer requests? Because I'm about to close this off in prayer. So I can get back to making peanut butter and jellies and doing laundry and getting some plastic totes. You know, one thing I am excited about, I told my daughter, I said, you know what's nice? It's like our boxes are already packed because, you know, our whole house is filled with these containers. And I'm like, it's like they're already packed. This is really good for us, kind of deal. So we'll see, but we'll get there. We're on the edge of Tornado Alley. I take a hurricane over tornado, 0 warning, scary. Yeah, House of Lilies, that's how I feel. I'm like, oh, I don't know. Praying for all the animals as well. And it is, there's a lot, you know, and here's my thing. Animals have the ability to survive things as long as you don't chain them up and like make their, I hate to say make their coffin, but you know, did you see the one where the poor dog was chained to the post? It's like, oh my goodness. So I don't know. Oh no, I would have anxiety like no tomorrow living with tornadoes. God gives us grace for each of our situations. We'll be worried about you. Keep us updated. If I'll probably do that through Instagram because that's just kind of easier kind of deal. You know, I'm going to tell you the idea of packing up and driving is not something I'm excited to do. I don't want to be on the road with my children in the weather. I don't want to be on the road with my children in traffic situations. You know, there's times like when they were talking about Houston, if he would have told them to evacuate, a lot of these families would have been on the road on the interstate when it hit and stuck. And that was more dangerous than being at home. So I'm certain we're going to be uncomfortable. And, you know, we're hoping for the best. Maybe it will just turn and not be a problem for anybody. Hopefully. Hopefully. All right. I'm going to close this in prayer. And then we all get on to our stuff. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for just the blessings that you give us to come together, dear Lord, that we can be in fellowship with one another in this amazing technology that you have allowed and provided. Dear Lord, you know the concerns in our heart for our country. We know what Houston is going through and Texas is going through to prepare and clean up from the hurricane that they just had. Dear Lord, you know about the fires. Not a bit of this comes as a surprise to you, dear Lord. You know what the plan is and the path is for this Hurricane Irma that's coming this way. Dear Lord, be with each and every one of your people and the people that are sitting there through these fires, through these floods, in anticipation of the storms coming, dear Lord, and just give us peace and comfort and to know your will so that we can move forward in the way that you have us to go. Dear Lord, be with Zap TV as she's sitting in Puerto Rico, and be with her friends and family as they prepare for the storm. Dear Lord, be with those islanders that live in a condition that we can't even begin to fathom, as they're literally have cardboard, pretty much almost like cardboard walls to take on something of this nature. Dear Lord, be with those that are on the cruises and the cruise lines as they're out there in the Caribbean, to move them out of the way that they can get to where they need to be in safety. Dear Lord, be with those people that are here in Florida that as we prepare that have come on today. Be with AC and Irenes De La Torre. Be with the Florida Mom, House of Littles family, Mama Geeks family, Katie Stewart, Full-Time Wife Life, with Stephanie and with Martha McLoney. Be with Peace and Pantry's family and myself and those other ones that are here as we get ready. Dear Lord, be with Julie's friend who just lost her dad to cancer and now is dealing with her mom as she's dealing with the complications of lymphoma. Lord, give her peace and strength. Be with Tracy's friend as she's dealing with her son. Be with him to come into your will, dear Lord. Be with them to be peaceful and to have confidence in you as this journey is going. Dear Lord, be with Balanced Vitality friends as they're dealing with their 2-year-old being in open heart surgery. You are the great physician, dear Lord, and we have peace in that. Dear Lord, be with Green Gables' husband and her as they're going to the specialist. Lord, just let that mass be removed. Let it dissipate. Let there be no further complications, and just bring him in health. Dear Lord, I pray for myself selfishly, for my family, that you protect us. You know what we've been through, and yet you know how strong we can keep going. Dear Lord, and as much as I'm thankful that you use us as that example, Lord, I would greatly, greatly love the peace and the break of it. Dear Lord, and just keep us provided for. Keep those that are going to be traveling and those who are preparing to stay home and ride the storm out to be in a peaceful, confident way that we know that we can call on your name and you provide. Dear Lord, I ask all of this in your Son's name, your Son who you gave us as the ultimate sacrifice so that we could enter the kingdom, that we could never do anything right. We didn't have to worry about being right, that you have given us this salvation and a gift we don't ever deserve because you are merciful and you have grace for us that we can never imagine. In all things we say, amen. All right. Let me check that out. Oh, Peace and Pantry's nieces in the Cape. Oh, let me see. Sorry. I know. I'm like, oh, what did I miss? We'll be worried about you. Keep us up to date. I will. We'll be moving to Missouri next spring. Martha's going to be moving to Missouri next spring. Pray for the patients in Largo Rehab. Oh, yeah, the hospitals. Oh, I'm losing my thing. Thank you. All right, I love you guys. Yes, we definitely, I hope to see you next week. You know, maybe the wind will be going. I'll be like, look, we're getting it done. And we definitely have time until it gets here. I'll keep you posted on Instagram on what we're doing. You never know, I might be doing a call out on like, hey, anybody want to shack us up? Let us shack up with them. We might be doing a call out, but so far so good. And I just pray that y'all will be safe. I'm going to be covering y'all in prayer. And if you want, come back later on and you can leave a message or a comment below to have your prayers added, do a check-in. Leave a comment below, my friends here at the live chat. But just if you have a channel, just tell people to come check your channel out, or you know, or I'm contributing creative content, and just do a little description about your channel. And you guys come back and take a look and make sure you're subscribed to those channels. This is the video to do that too. I know that sometimes it's done that way. Let me just tell you on like video analytics and all of that, or growing your channel and stuff. It's like not cool to say like, hey, subscribe here, subscribe to my channel. But I'm going to tell you on Mama Chat, it is always welcomed. This is the video to come and say, hey, subscribe to me. This is what my channel is about. You can expect to hear more about this, or hear from me every week, or I do just whatever it is that you do. And as long as it's family friendly, if it's not family friendly, I will delete your comment. But come back and take a look at those other channels and get to know each other, because you guys are some amazing people and I love y'all very, very dearly. And I'm always thankful that I have you guys in my life, even though it's once a week on YouTube. But I do seriously love you guys for it. You can bring your RV here to the Roanoke, Virginia. I have a friend in Roanoke. That is so cool. I don't have an RV though. I don't have a camper anymore. My channel's in Spanish, but it's related to homeschool. Thanks for the opportunity. I know. I think that's cool. I need to, the area we're in and be a good opportunity. And I took Spanish and I could understand it when I listened to it in high school, but now I can't. But I'm hoping if I do like Rosetta, I will get it back and be on it. Homeschooling on a budget and backyard home city. Yes, that's House of Littles. So make sure you come back and put those things in the comments after the video's over so that they know to subscribe, because this part of the live chat is gone. Or it's on that side, right? It's that side. I'll see it in the thing. I'll be doing this. Get it that way. But I will talk to y'all soon, hopefully. Not next week, the week after. And if anything, I can jump in during the week and I will just say hi. I have a lot of videos to edit, but I don't know how well I'm going to do getting things going. So I'm going to talk to you guys later. Oh, Zap, I'm glad you feel better. I'm glad you're more relaxed. It's okay. We got this. We're going to pray for each other deeply. And you're going to, pack in and stay safe. Bree, friends here. So now you have to come. All right, bye.